Good Saturday morning, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for November the 26th. Wow. November 26th, that means in, I don't know, what is it, 4 days, 5 days, we're going to be in December, which is just a crazy thing to think about. Again, I mention that all the time because I just realize what the date is, and it just keeps going by faster and faster. But be that as it may, we're thankful that you are taking time to tune into this reading today, as we're going to be reading together in Proverbs chapter 9, which is the last chapter in this opening section of the Proverbs, which focuses on the fatherly type of wisdom given from a father to a son. A father obviously loves his son very much and wants for his son to be as prosperous as possible. And the father here, the fatherly figure here being Solomon, recognizes that prosperity is going to come whenever you follow the ways of the Lord. So we're going to be thinking about that today as we make our way throughout this text of Proverbs chapter 9, concluding again this opening section. And then tomorrow we're going to be getting into the probably most well-known portion of the Proverbs, which is the one sentence hitters, the little snippets of wisdom that are found within these little phrases that are from chapters 10. And I forgot to look up to see how far it goes. Let me pull that up real fast. Apologize for forgetting to see exactly how far that will go. Let's see here. I should have written this in my opening for this text. Let's see here. It's going to span chapters 10 through 22-ish. Chapters 10 through 22-ish. I think about halfway through 22, it's going to transition to more fatherly teachings after that. So we'll be reading over the next 12 days or so, beginning tomorrow, looking at these one sentence, this little one-liners that have a great deal of general truths that are found within it, and that can help us to be prosperous in this life. So to conclude this final chapter of this first section, it's going to just leave us with the options. Everything that has been set up until this point leaves us with two options. Are we going to be a wise people, or are we going to be a foolish people? We have the choice. We've seen the outcomes of both up until this point, but here's one last final effort to allow the reader to see the good that comes from being wise and the bad that comes from being foolish. Let's check that out here in chapter 9 of the Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 9, verse number 1. Again, just notice as we go throughout this text the way that the comparison and the contrast is being established before us. So Proverbs chapter 9, verse number 1, wisdom has built her house. She has carved out her 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat. She has mixed her wine. She has also set her table. Let's check it. There we go. She has set her table. Verse number 2. Verse number 3 says, she has sent out her female servants. She calls out from the highest points of the city. Whoever is inexperienced, enter here. To the one who lacks sense, she says, come, eat my bread and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave the inexperienced behind, and you will live. Pursue the way of understanding. The one who corrects a mocker will bring abuse on himself. The one who rebukes the wicked will get hurt. Don't rebuke a mocker, or he will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and he will love you. Instruct the wise, and he will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and he will learn more. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise for your own benefit. If you mock, you alone will bear the consequences. Folly is a rowdy woman. She is gullible and knows nothing. She sits by the doorway of her house on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling to those who pass by, who go straight ahead on their paths. Whoever is inexperienced, enter here. To the one who lacks sense, she says, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten secretly is tasty. But he doesn't know that the departed spirits are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol. And that is Proverbs chapter 9. Again, let's set the contrast here as it is displayed for us as best we can. Notice what wisdom does. Wisdom is industrious. Wisdom works hard. Let's note this. She has built her house, carved out the 7 pillars, prepared the meat, set her table, sent out the female servants. She calls out. So that's what wisdom does. What does folly do? Folly Well, she just sits. She sits by the doorway of her house. She doesn't do anything. She's lazy. She's a bum. She does not work hard, does not care. What does wisdom do? Wisdom calls out to the experience as folly does, but notice what wisdom offers. Wisdom offers to eat bread and drink the wine, and I would also say everything else that's mentioned here, the meat, all these things right here. It's a feast. It's a full meal. It is a feast that she prepares for those who would enter her house and listen and grow in knowledge from her. Let's compare that with what folly says. Folly says, "Well, if you come here, I got some stolen water and some bread that you can eat secretly." Well, again, no brainer here. Which one would we rather have? Would we rather have the feast, or would we rather have stolen bread and or stolen water and bread that you got to eat in the corner in the dark? Well, I'm pretty sure we all know which one we would choose there as well. Let's see here. Also want to note verses 7, 8, and 9, which I think are very important for us. 7, 8, and 9. 7, the beginning of chapter and beginning of verse number 8. The one who corrects a mocker will bring abuse on himself. The one who rebukes the wicked will get hurt. Don't rebuke a mocker, or he will hate you. This is pride. This is arrogance. This is somebody who knows it all already and doesn't want to hear any advice, doesn't want to hear any wisdom, doesn't want to hear anything that might help them to do better. They think they know it all. If you want to rebuke that person, have at it, but know that they're not going to listen. They're just going to make things more difficult on you. But that is contrasted with the wise, that if you will rebuke the wise, then he will love you. If you instruct the wise, he will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and he will learn more. This is obvious humility. This is humility. This is going back to chapter 2 and verses 1 through 4, where humility has to meet desire, and that has to meet effort. If we want to be a wise people, if we want to grow in wisdom, grow in knowledge, grow in discretion, then we must be willing to listen to it. Then we must learn to desire it. And then we must put in the effort to obtain it. If we want to be a people who are wise and who get to enjoy the blessings of wisdom, which are described here, you'll have many days will be added to your life. You're going to have great benefits. If we want to be those type of people who get to enjoy these things, then we need to humble ourselves before wisdom. We need to desire greater wisdom. We need to put the effort into to achieve the gaining of that wisdom. But if we don't want to, we just want to mock, and guess what? We're going to bear the consequences for it. So considering this text, I hope that we will be motivated to pursue wisdom. Again, to reject what might be purported as wisdom of this world. If it is not founded in God, it's not wise, it's foolish, and it leads only to destruction. May we be a people who are testing everything we hear by the wisdom of God and only allowing God's wisdom to guide us in everything that we do. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, we'll be back in, or we'll be getting into the one sentence wisdom bits of chapter 10. We'll do that for about 12 days or so, and then we'll be getting into some more fatherly teachings I'll pick up about halfway through chapter 22. But I do thank you so much for tuning into this reading. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we're looking forward to being with everybody tomorrow as we gather for our worship assemblies and our Bible classes. We'll have a reading before then. Again, that reading will be at 8, we'll post at 8 a.m., and that'll be from Proverbs chapter 10. Hope you'll be able to tune in at that time or sometime within the day tomorrow, so we can begin reading through this collection of Solomon's Proverbs. And again, please, if you have any that stand out to you, that really made an impact on you, or that you've seen be very true in your own life, then please feel free to share that in the comment section. And I'm sure other people would appreciate seeing what you have to share as well. Again, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Take care. God bless.